I grew up a pretty big fan of Melissa Joan Hart, starting with Clarissa Explains It All. So, of course, when I heard she was starting a new show back in 1996, I jumped on board and watched the first 4 seasons religiously, waiting in excitement every week for the new episode. But that's not the only thing about the show I was excited about. Each year around Halloween, I knew there would be a new Sabrina the Teenage Witch Halloween episode. Some shows would maybe do a Halloween episode here and there. And then there were shows like The Simpsons, where every year as a child, I couldn't wait for the new Treehouse of Horror. By 1996, Sabrina had joined the long list of Halloween episodes and specials I watched yearly. And I knew the Halloween episode would be one of each season's best. The series would end up doing 6 Halloween episodes out of 7 seasons, each one being a Halloween classic that I watch every year. Now, ranking these episodes was not an easy task for me. It can't be done, I tell you it can't be done. Simply because I like all these episodes. Even my number 6 is tough to say is the last on my list, because it's an episode I highly enjoy. Well, enough of the intro, just like I say on each video. So let's get this thing started.
How do you like my new litter box?
Number 6, The Phantom Menace, is a 4th season episode released October 29th, 1999. Harvey wants to celebrate his last Halloween before he's too old for trick-or-treating. But Sabrina has different plans. To find an after-school job, which she does at a nearby coffee shop. There's only one problem. Sabrina decides to work on Halloween and skip the holiday altogether.
Witches can't run away from Halloween.
Watch me. I'm done with all this kids stuff.
Sabrina decides to ignore her aunt's warning and go to work anyways. Meanwhile, her aunts have invited Edgar Allan Poe to a Halloween dinner and don't exactly get the scare they're looking for.
To let you walk, but I love you too much to let you run.
And for Salem, well, he's not too happy that no one wants to listen to his Tales from Salem stories.
Well, if no one wants to listen to my horror stories, I'll just go shred some beloved sweaters.
Back at the coffee shop, some zombies have taken over, bringing the Halloween fun to Sabrina. The Phantom Menace is a pretty good Halloween episode. The zombies are fantastic, and they provide some good scares that even have Sabrina screaming in fear. The episode provides some laughs, with Harvey wanting to fight against age discrimination when it comes to trick-or-treating.
City Council is going to make it illegal for kids over the age of 17 to trick-or-treat. That's just wrong.
And I really enjoy the Edgar Allan Poe bits quite a bit. The only problem I really have with this episode is the fact that Sabrina meets Josh in this episode and tells her friend at the end that she likes Josh.
He's great. Yeah, there's just one thing that bothers me about him.
What?
I have a huge crush on him.
I just think, seriously? You're still dating Harvey at this time. I just think, why put this on a Halloween episode? Other than that, it's a lot of Halloween fun.
Those zombies were really scary.
A Halloween Story is the first Sabrina Halloween episode, released October 25th, 1996. The episode has 2 different things going on. One being that Sabrina is being forced by her aunts to attend a Halloween get-together.
But we go because it's tradition.
And Zelda makes me.
Because in this episode, the aunts celebrate the holiday as if it was their Christmas, with songs,
Have a jolly, jolly Halloween.
Okay, please stop singing.
the family get-together, with her snobby, unlikable cousin, played by her real-life sister, Emily Hart, who would go on to play Sabrina in the animated series.
Brat.
What was that?
And they even exchange gifts.
All right, everyone, time to open presents.
Yay!
Amanda, darling, you go first.
The other thing happening in this episode is that Harvey's throwing a Halloween party, which Sabrina can't attend. So she decides to send a clone in her place that can only speak 3 sentences. This, of course, is not good because the 3 sentences make her agree to everything everyone says, including streaking.
Hey, what's everyone looking at?
Sabrina's gonna streak. There she is!
A Halloween Story is the only Halloween episode where the ants celebrate the holiday like Christmas. And I think that's a good thing. It's not bad, but to continue it that way for every Halloween episode would have become very boring. And it doesn't provide any real Halloween spooks either. We do get to see some chuckles here and there from the Sabrina clone, and it is a really good episode, but it really doesn't feel like a Halloween episode, but rather just a regular season episode.
That is so true. Weird.
They send me this flyer every year. It's a Halloween mystery train that makes a special stop in Boston.
Murder on the Halloween Express is the 6th and last Sabrina Halloween episode, being released in the 6th season on October 26, 2001. Sabrina doesn't have plans for Halloween this year, so she decides to take Salem up on his offer to attend the mystery train. The only problem is none of her friends actually want to go, but she's able to talk them all into it.
Fine. Guess a little train ride won't kill us.
Sabrina soon learns that the train they're on is in the other realm, where they've been taken back in time to some old mystery. And the only way off is to solve the puzzle.
You are the detective in this play. Since you've already paid for the costume, you might as well look the part.
Meanwhile, the ants have just learned from Salem that Sabrina has taken her friends to the other realm train. And back on the mystery train, it's a murder that Sabrina must solve.
Unfortunately, he's been the victim of a murder.
Will she be able to put the pieces together to solve this other realm train mystery?
What are you talking about? Even I beat her at Clue.
Will the ants ever aboard the train to help Sabrina?
That was close.
Hey, my outfit's getting all dirty.
Murder on the Halloween Express is a fun episode. I'm a big fan of old murder mysteries. And this episode pays tribute to the 1920s era nicely. It's done very well. And watching everyone play their character as if they were in a 1920s murder mystery is a blast.
Well, I guess it's just you and me, Jack.
I'm up for some fun, baby.
The Halloween Scene is a 5th season episode released October 27th, 2000. Sabrina is feeling the Halloween spirit this year, but her friends are feeling another way.
And perpetuate one of the most ridiculous, bogus holidays ever invented by man?
So she decides to spend the holiday with her aunts, but Zelda and Hilda have other plans to attend a party in the other realm. And I have to say, I love their costumes.
Sabrina, we spent 3 hours getting ready for this galaxy opening. Do you have anything to say about our outfits?
With Salem's help, Sabrina comes up with the idea to throw a Halloween party. Since the ants will be away, her friends agree to attend, regardless of being haters of the holiday.
There's nothing more lame than Halloween. And I know lame.
Desperate to make a great Halloween party, Sabrina goes to rent some monsters from the other realm, from none other than Gina from Martin, and receives the greatest monster of all.
Frankenstein, that's perfect.
With the help of the monster, Sabrina ends up throwing a rocking Halloween party that has Roxy falling for the Frankenstein monster, Salem stalking a college girl, and some extra ghouls crashing the party. For Zelda and Hilda, their party ends up pretty much being a bore fest. The episode ends with Sabrina having to restore Frankenstein and the bride of Frankenstein's relationship, which is pretty funny.
I'm tired when I get home from work. All that walking around, my arms straight out.
What I really like about this episode is, of course, the monsters. Especially the Frankenstein monster, which is one of my all-time favorite Halloween characters. The only thing I can complain about is Sabrina's friends come off kind of annoying at the beginning, but other than that, I have no real complaints. I find it to be a very enjoyable Halloween episode with cool monsters and some good laughs. The Halloween scene was also directed by Melissa Joan Hart, which is pretty cool. It's the only Halloween episode she would direct.
Hi, Sabrina.
Muffy, are you alright? I mean, your message was kind of garbled on my machine. Something about a stalker?
I found him pawing through my lingerie drawer.
Well, down to my top 2. I have to say, I really like the other 4 episodes, but these are by far my favorites. These classics are what I consider to be the perfect Sabrina the Teenage Witch Halloween episodes.
Halloween.
Good Will Hunting is a 3rd season episode released October 30th, 1998. The episode starts with a scream.
Hilda, get a hold of yourself.
Zelda and Hilda have been invited to Aunt Beulah's Halloween party, which they refer to as the dullest party ever, even though they have never actually gone or even met her for that matter. But this year will be different.
There. We've RSVP'd.
Which stands for rotten, stupid, vile party.
For Sabrina, this Halloween her friend Valerie has invited some boys over to Sabrina's house to watch some scary movies. Without her permission, of course.
Sorry. So ironic. It's the one area of my life I'm really pushy.
There's only one problem. Her Aunt Beulah has sent her an evil Molly dolly for Halloween that is meant to terrorize Sabrina and her friends. For Zelda and Hilda, they find out Aunt Beulah is crazy, and her party is being held at an insane asylum. The spooks are really turned up when they find out they can never leave the party. And the Molly dolly locks the house, trapping Sabrina and her friends, left to be terrorized. This is when the biggest spooky laughs begin, as Hilda and Zelda are being chased trying to escape the insane asylum. And Sabrina and her friends are getting chased by the Molly dolly, the real Frankenstein, and the mummy. We find out that Aunt Beulah is not as crazy as we thought. She just likes throwing really awesome Halloween parties and sending people evil dolls to scare the crap out of them. Good Will Haunting is a masterpiece of a Halloween episode. It's by far the spookiest of the Sabrina Halloween episodes, and I have to admit, I'm creeped out by dolls like Molly.
I'm a Molly dolly, and I'm gonna get you.
So it adds to the creep factor for me. Plus, this episode is extremely funny. I find myself laughing throughout every time. This could easily be my number 1 any other day. It's that good, and it may even be my favorite episode of Season 3. All the boxes are checked here, and it's the show at the top of their game.
Ooh!
Salem, you look ridiculous.
You were terrified and you know it.
You can never make too much candy corn. Oh. No, Zelda's naked!
A River of Candy Corn Runs Through is a 2nd season episode released October 31st, 1997. The episode starts with Libby bragging about her Halloween party that she's throwing for all the cool kids.
And you know what the best part is?
What?
No freaks.
Desperate to be cool, Sabrina's friend Valerie decides to throw an even cooler party. There's only one problem. She decides the party's going to be at Sabrina's house without getting her permission first. But the problem quickly goes away as Sabrina's aunts agree to let her have the party. Then the worry starts to set in right before the party starts when they realize the furniture they ordered from the other realm talks. As the party starts, Sabrina realizes that's not her only problem. Halloween carolers decide to show up from the other realm. Her best friend is having a breakdown since she showed up in a duck costume and no one else is dressed up.
Sabrina, more guests have arrived.
Are any of them wearing Halloween costumes?
I'm sorry, honey.
Harvey's not coming because he's stuck taking his little brother trick-or-treating. Aunt Zelda's trying to feed the giant termites from the other realm that are in their basement. And the Quizmaster shows up to test Sabrina. Oh, man, can things get any worse? Well, it looks like Sabrina's Halloween party is doomed to be the stinker of the year. That is until the furniture starts to talk and a river of candy corn busts through her door. No one is creeped out by this. Instead, they think the magic is just fake effects Sabrina has rigged up. This is when the party turns into the best party ever, that even Salem can't help but join.
Attention, kids! I urge you to accept me as your ruler.
For Libby, well, her party is ruined because Harvey's brother and friends egged her house.
Hey, stop making that house!
And to find out, the Quizmaster actually just showed up because his family was away. And he was feeling lonely for the holiday. And I'm glad he did. I like the Quizmaster. And to top it off, the 10,000 Maniacs show up, making this the best Halloween Sabrina will ever have. A river of candy corn runs through it is the Sabrina the Teenage Witch Halloween episode I'm most nostalgic about. It's the one I remember the most from when it originally aired, and it was my favorite then, and it still is. Plus, the special appearance by the 10,000 Maniacs is really cool. It's the band after Natalie Merchant left the group, but Mary Ramsey taking over as lead in the band was a perfect fit. And the song that they perform, Rainy Day, is one of my favorites from the band. The episode has a certain feeling to it that makes me smile, especially when the party becomes awesome. A river of candy corn runs through it is nostalgic Halloween fun at its best.
I know what'll make this night really perfect.